Today we're going to be talking a little bit about texture, which is one of our elements of design. And the emphasis today is to be really learning about how to think about textures in both three-dimensional and two-dimensional artworks. So, our learning goals for today are fairly straightforward. Number one is we need to be able to know the difference between actual and implied textures. We're going to explore these two concepts as we go. Today is also going to be an opportunity for you to do some hands-on work in order to start thinking about how we're going to use other elements of design, in particular line and value, in order to create two-dimensional implied textures. And number three, as you're going through this activity, it's going to be important that you are very observant, really thinking about the different types of line qualities from our previous lesson in order to be able to accurately replicate what textures you see in front of you. Okay? So, when we're thinking about texture, we need to make sure that we understand what it is. Okay? So it is the surface quality of an object, right? So for example, a rock may be rough and jagged. A piece of silk may be soft and smooth. The desk tabletop might feel hard and smooth, right? Texture also refers to the way a picture is made to look. So we can kind of get the it's not just about the tactile surface, but it's also how we visually process and make assumptions about the surface texture using our eyes. All right, and this is going to be the main difference between actual and implied. So let's get started. Real textures. Okay, so these are textures that we find on sort of a three-dimensional surface, right? And they are the things that we can actually reach out and we can feel with our fingertips, and we can feel the modulations or the changes in the surface in order to get a sense of how it feels, right? We often will use this with a variety of different sculptural processes, right? We can think of how we want the clay surface to feel. If we're working in plaster, right? Is it going to be rough or is it going to be really, really smooth, right? When we're working with textiles, right? How something is tactile and how something feels to the fingertips is really, really important in order to help create meaning in the piece, right? And real texture is that actual sort of three-dimensional tactile quality. But sometimes, right, in an artwork such as a drawing or a painting, we don't have that same tactile quality. We need to be able to create the illusion of how something feels by using a sense of light and dark and qualities of line in order to replicate what that surface looks like, in order to kind of trick the brain into thinking that a flat surface actually feels different than it really does, right? And that's what implied texture is all about. Okay? So as you're moving forward and you continue to explore this idea of texture, right? Think about, how does something feel in real life? And then how does the artist actually represent that on a two-dimensional surface to make us really get a clear sense of how it ought to feel if we were to touch the real thing? And that's the main difference between real and implied texture. I wish you all the best on your explorations. Continue with your learning and exploration and experimentation with drawing after you watch this video. Take a look back at the website because there's a short activity for you to be able to do in order to get some practice exploring textures in and around the classroom or in and around your home. Best of luck, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.